This is a green tomatillo, and it's one of my favorite tomatillos to grow. Actually, it's the only tomatillo that I really like to grow. And oh, hello, there's a little bird that landed on the fence by me. Can you hear it? It's talking to me. Anyway, it tastes like a tart plum when you eat them raw like this, but I love using them in salsas. And I also just love eating them like this. They're really sweet. They're more fruity than they are tomatoey, but I really like them. And this is the green verde tomatillo, I think they call it. But just look for a green tomatillo. The tomatillos that ripen green. If you get the yellow ones, they're much smaller, and they don't taste as good. They just taste like tomatoes. If you want something that tastes really fruity and sort of tropical, get the green ones. Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how I protect my tomatoes from sucking bugs like the squash bugs and things like that. And they're kind of like leaf-footed bugs that will inject acid into your tomatoes and peppers and your fruit, and then they'll kind of suck the juices out, and it's what makes your tomatoes real blotchy and hard and nasty. So I use these little mesh produce bags. You can get these on Amazon. They're really cheap. And I use the ones that are a little finer of a mesh. There's some that have like a large mesh that are meant for like crawfish boils and things like that. This one has a little bit finer of a mesh, and I just put these over my fruit, and they don't like this. And I've shown this on a video before, but I haven't done a video specific to this. So these are really cheap. I think you can get like 100 for $8, and you can get like 600 for like $13. But I'm gonna show you how I do it. So all you do is open up the bags. You don't have to tie them off or anything, and that's probably one of my favorite things about these is you just slide them on, and it kind of just forms around the tomatoes, so you don't have to do anything extra. And truth be told, these could be picked already, but I'm not going to get around to picking them before the rest of them ripen, so I'm just going to go ahead and bag them. And they stretch, so you can even bag your little green tomatoes ahead of time so that you don't forget. And sure, it doesn't look pretty, but I don't need it to look pretty. I just need it to keep the rabbits and the bugs, the sucking bugs, from getting to everything. So I just do that on most of my tomatoes. On cherry tomatoes, I really don't bag my cherry tomatoes very often, mostly because they're so prolific that I can afford to spare some for the bugs and the animals. But I will do it on my larger, bigger tomatoes that need a little while yet to ripen on the plant. So I'm actually going to slip these off because I'm going to pick these tomatoes. And the great thing is when you finally do go to pick, you already have a little bag ready. So we're just going to pick, oh, one of the orange ones came off already. Well, these are all orange, actually. So these are really delicious Sun Gold tomatoes, one of my favorite cherry tomatoes to grow. And I grow them every year. I love these and the yellow pear tomatoes. I love any cherry tomato, to be honest. But aren't those just so pretty? One of these has a little bit of scarring on there. Not a big deal. And there's some over here too. So the idea is to get these covered before they start to turn red or whatever color they might be when they're ripe. When they're green, you don't have to worry about them so much, but like I said, the bags stretch, so they'll stretch as the tomato grows so you can get them on early if you want to. So these work for just about anything, even your peppers. So if you've got some peppers, are one of the best things to use them for, because it's kind of a tight space to get into peppers, and these bags, you can kind of squeeze them between the branches and just get them around your little peppers pretty easy. I usually don't have much trouble with my purple peppers, but you can see I've got that one nice and covered, and I can cover those other ones. I can actually stretch the same bag over all of these peppers and they will stretch enough to fit over all of them at the same time, and that will keep the sucking bugs off of them, because the bugs are they're not going to go after something that isn't sightly, that doesn't look like a fruit or a vegetable. So when you put these on, they think it's not a fruit or vegetable, and so they don't go after it. So you can see how I've covered 3 peppers with one netted bag, and the bag will stretch as the pepper grows because these are not done growing. On this plant, I have a bunch of peppers. These are going to end up being orange bell peppers. So we're going to cover a few of them. I probably won't cover all of them. And this will just help me out before I forget to do it. These aren't going to ripen anytime soon, so still quite young to be covering them. Actually, I'm not going to cover these yet. These have a lot of growing left to do. But you can see there's a bunch in there, so I've just got to make a note to come back and do this before the bugs get to them and before they ripen. So the reason this works so well is because bugs and animals don't want to eat things that don't look appealing or don't look natural. And even though the sucking parts of their mouth could fit through this mesh bag, they're just not attracted to it. So it works amazingly well. All right, I hope this video will help you out if you suffer from a bunch of sucking bugs. I'm from Northeast Texas, so we have a lot of those here, so I definitely have to do something if I want to get any perfect tomatoes. But another way that we actually combat the sucking bugs is we grow a lot of tomatoes. So we just have way too many for them to ruin them all. And we end up having plenty for us, plenty for them, and plenty for the animals. But I still will use these on new varieties where I'm only growing a few, or I'll put them on my favorite tomatoes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.